Okay, so I remade the thumbnail to what if Deku was Lady Nagat's son. So you should see the scars on the bottom left or right, or anything like that. That's because I'll explain that in the I'll explain that. So Hisashi in this universe, his fire is actually gonna end up being plasma. And Lady Naga can create bullets out of her body and stuff, or like out of nothing, basically. Since she's basically a fucking sniper at this point, I don't really care. She can just create bullets out of the materials around her. Why not? And she can turn her body into a weapon. So they met up. They did a one-night stand, and Izuku was then born 9 months later in prison. Now, they kept him in the prison for a while, only for 2 years, because he was still young and he didn't have and he wasn't strong enough yet. So after he turned 2, he was taken away from his mom. Him not really caring, because he's a kid, he doesn't know. Lady Nagat does feel really bad that that she has that she can't be with her son, and she wants to get out of prison through court, and she wants to change her ways. Now, Izuku, how did I say this? So one day, when Izuku's about 4, they go to the Quirk doctor, and they find out that Izuku has a mixture quirk. Basically, he can shoot plasma out of his fingers, not like his body falls apart or anything, or gets damaged. He can shoot plasma out of his fingers, out of his hands, basically like the Ki Blast, if you know what that is from Dragon Ball. He can shoot it. He can also use it like a bungee gum, like how Hisoka has his bungee gum. He can also use it like that. It's basically plasma kinesis. And then he has guns. He can become a marksman. So the nun, no, let's just say it's like a Christian, yeah, let's say it's a Christian kid shelter, I don't know, orphanage, a Christian orphanage. So the nun is impressed, but at the same time it's scared. She thinks that Deku will turn out to be a villain. So basically, Izuku. Oh yeah, and his hero costume is either going to be this over here or this. I want him to have like a lot of mobility for his movement. Just give me 1 second. I have some other ideas for the suit. It could be Izuku Doria. It could be this suit here. And you have those 4 options to choose from. Game 1. I'm back at the original thumbnail. I don't want to show you guys any of my pictures because, yeah, I don't want you to know my face. So, basically, Deku, he grows up being neglected but abused at the same time, kind of. It's like every 2 days of the week, the nuns would just beat him up. They would beat him up, and then the rest of the week, just the kids would beat him up, and then the nuns wouldn't even take care of him. So Izuku at night would have to go in the kitchen and he would basically use plasma to make a small hole through the roof, then get down to the kitchen. Then put everything back, basically, and just eat. He would basically just eat. That's all he would do. He ate what he wanted. He didn't care. Because if they weren't going to feed him, he might as well not be able to let them eat. So, Izuku would then think, he's about 5 at this point, he would think at this age, no one really cares if I left. But maybe they will. I don't know. But there's only one way to find out. As then he basically makes his plasma like a fire. It's basically just blue plasma. It's blue plasma if you were a bit confused. Yeah, it's blue plasma, so don't worry about it. It's not. It's like a mixture of blue and green plasma, basically. It also has a bit of purple in it and pink, but not enough that you can notice it. But it's just like a little bit. So Deku would basically heat up his plasma because he has control over it. He just doesn't use the hot version. So he basically he basically puts the stove up and he turns the stove on. He leaves the propane running and he has the plasma thing inside. It's like, you know those like fuses that like go in dynamite? That's basically that's a heat source that's gonna put it out. That's gonna blow up the place. So he's waiting, and then he goes, and then it just explodes. And he has his bags packed. He stole their guns too, because he doesn't really want to use his right now, because this is like a hunting rifle. This is a hunting rifle that the pastor had. And he also stole a couple valuables, like some chalices and jewelry and stuff like that, so that he can at least get some money out of them. Now, Izuku would then go to a pawn shop and sell off the items, which he would then get around about $500 for them. And Deku would then thank the guy, and the guy would say, "Hey, do you have a home?" And Izuku would say, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, okay." As then Deku would walk off. The firefighters then getting over to the building as only one kid survived. This being, let's just say it's a random kid that then just told them that, oh, there's this kid with a villainous quirk. He has the ability to control plasma and he can shoot, and his arms can turn into weapons. And also, Deku's quirk is a bit more advanced than his mom's. So basically, if he ran out of ammo, which he can create, but if he was like way too tired, the fire can basically the plasma can go inside the gun and make like a supercharged cannon, which basically then would destroy it would basically just destroy things. It would destroy anything that's in its way, and this is like a powerful weapon. And he can also create his guns like how Cyborg can from the DC universe, or like from the Teen Titans. I'm really cold. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna keep on talking, but yeah. So Izuku would he would continue to walk around the city as he comes across a grocery store. He goes in the grocery store and he begins to grab some vegetables and stuff like that. And yeah, basically what happens next is give me 1 second. Never mind, I'm back. So basically, Izuku would go to the front counter and he would buy the food and stuff for him to become healthier and stronger. But he also bought a couple of things, like a few candy bars, and he bought some dumplings and stuff like that, like some snacks and whatnot. He also bought a couple noodle packets, some canned goods, and yeah. He then, like, purchased it all, and it came around $200, because he got a lot. So the person said, you can take the cart. That's a lot of food. It doesn't look like anyone's, like, waiting for you, so you can take the cart. Deku would say, oh, well, thank you. As he would basically just walk off with a big-ass cart of food. As then Deku would see a blanket that's just in the road. As then he would think, maybe I should do this. As he basically, like, shakes off the blanket and just puts it over the food. And he just keeps on walking. And he has the receipt in his pocket because he doesn't want anyone to know that he doesn't want people to think that he stole it, but he doesn't want people to see that he has it, because, like, this is a beat-up neighborhood. Like, this is a really fucked up neighborhood. So, that guy's about $300 in his pocket. He's thinking, what can I do? And then he sees a homeless man, or what assumes to be a homeless man. As he walks up to the guy and he gets out some bread. He gives the bread to the person, saying, have a good day. As the guy then pulls out a gun, saying, give it all to me. Deku says, fuck. As he basically creates like a plasma shield, and also he can do this. He basically can control his plasma in any way, shape, or form. It's plasma control, and it's basically just 2 quirks, but it's 1 quirk. But he's using the one aspect of the quirk. It's basically the half and half quirk that Todoroki has, but it's like they can work together in harmony. So Deku would basically just like make a shield, and the guy's like, what the fuck? And then basically Deku would then like turn his arm into a gun and say, I would back up if I were you. The guy says, oh okay. And Deku says, take the bread. It's yours. I gave it to you, and you should be grateful. As the guy says, yeah, you're right. As then he just runs off. This guy actually being one of All For One's old lackeys, which he's thinking if he can tell All For One that he found something with a powerful plasma and weapons quirk, he can join back. And he was supposed to bring back information about new quirks, new types of quirks, but he was then fired due to a miscommunication between villains. So, yeah, he basically goes back to All For One. He explains that he found a kid with a powerful plasma and weapons quirk that could be very useful to him. As he says, how does the weapons quirk work? He says, it appears that it comes out of his shoulders. It also looked like it kind of came out of his fingers and a few other places, but it didn't really make sense to me, considering the fact that he could have just maybe created one out of plasma. Wait, plasma? Yes, this kid has a plasma quirk. He has 2 of the most powerful quirks that I've ever seen. He's like, damn. Wait a minute. I know 2 people that have those quirks. Oh, crap, dude. And I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go do something. I forgot where I was at, so let me think. Well, let me think real fast. So yeah, All For One. I forgot. It was the All For One part. I forgot that it was that. So All For One, he wants to actually see Deku, or see if he can steal his quirks, to be more precise, because he wants to hire Deku to kill All Might when Deku's older. Because Lady Nagawa is actually supposed to kill All Might, like, that was her mission on the one night stand thing. It was his and her mission to kill All Might. Because they were basically the 3, like, the 2 most powerful heroes besides him. No, villains besides him. So, he's thinking if he can train Izuku to become a villain, then he'll join him, and then he can release his mother and his father. But what All For One doesn't know is that Izuku's father died of cancer last year, when Izuku turned 4. And he did know that he had a son, so he let Izuku inherit everything. Well, he's going to. So, Izuku basically is walking through the city and he finds an old warehouse where he basically gets in there and he finds a couple old computers, some old weapons, and stuff that really doesn't really matter. Stuff that people have pretty much forgotten. As Izuku is looking around, and he finds an old piece, like an old suit of armor. This suit of armor, this mask and suit of armor, being the mask of a rabbit with green eyes, and it had like a violet, like those like those aluminum lights basically. It had an aluminum look to it. Izuku looked at it and he picked it up. He then basically changed it up a bit, then put it on. He looked great. Then he took off the mask and put it on the side of his face. As he kept on walking throughout the building and throughout the levels, he found more and more stuff. He found his mask, his hoodie, his belt, his pants, and his shoes. And a really weird looking gun. Or should I say bow, or like a bow staff, basically. As he looks at it, and it looks to have more parts that go to it, but it looks different. This actually being Hasashi's old plasma suit. This suit basically resembling this, like, a plasma rabbit, and this is basically where his stash was, and Izuku found it, and this is what he was actually going to inherit. So Izuku picked up all of it. He basically put it all away, and there was a note on the ground to, like, Izuku, my son, which he does realize, like, that's... Oh, and his name is Izuku Midoriya, just to specify that, or, Izuku Nagat Midoriya. Izuku Nagat Midoriya. So, that's his full name, but he doesn't know the Nagat part. So, this is when Izuku would then realize, like, okay, this was my father's base. And I don't know who my father is, but apparently I'm Izuku Midoriya. And he takes on the name Izuku Midoriya. Then the next day, basically, heroes, they would know, like, the guy also told the heroes that there's this kid that, like, no, let's just say it was, like, a civilian. Let's just say it's, like, some random civilian that doesn't really matter to the story. So, this civilian basically just said, oh, there was this kid, he gave some bread to the guy, and then the guy tried to attack him, and then he basically created, like, a plasma shield, and then, like, pointed a gun at him or something, or, like, made his arm into a gun, and the heroes are like, wait a minute, plasma gun, and then Aizawa's like, oh shit, that's Lady Nagat's son, and All Might's like, weren't there supposed to be heroes watching that kid? As basically, they say, yes, but they kind of died in the fire because he thought that he was in there. They died in the fire over boards and stuff. And the floor kind of caved in on them. And they thought Izuku was dead, but they ended up dying themselves. So, yes, there technically was supposed to be heroes watching him, and they were, but then they died. Wait, the orphanage was the orphanage. Oh, I remember now. So that's All Might and President Mike and all the others except for Nezu and Tsunade. Basically, he basically looks at on Tsunade. He looks at Nezu's future, and he sees Izuku coming into the building and asking to join UA. But on his terms. Which he's shocked, and he's thinking, so this is one of the possible universes that we actually have on getting him to become a hero. He'll basically come to Nezu, and he will ask if he can become a hero. Or join UA on his terms. Which, Izuku, he is planning on becoming a hero, but he also is thinking about vigilantism. Which we'll get to that in a little bit. But we cut back to All For One. He's thinking, and he's thinking, and he's thinking, and he says, we're breaking letting the god out of Tartarus. Get a couple boats. I don't care, just get boats. We're saving Lady Nagat. No questions. We're gonna go get her. And Lady Nagat isn't on on death row or anything. But the people there are like bullying her and stuff like that, and she can't use her quirk, so she can't defend herself. But this is when boom, the side of the wall just explodes, and also everyone else is like fought. Like basically all of Class 1A is like, no, let's just say like a few years passed, and the plan took a while because they had to like move money around and stuff like that and get it. So it took them about, when Izuku's 10, so 5 years to get this plan correct. So Izuku would then basically... No. Deku's about 10 at this point. And Lady Nagat has been looking for her son for a very long time. And Izuku is moving around a lot because he doesn't want to stay in one place. But he is thinking about becoming a hero. Which he does take online schooling, and he does take the name Izuku Midoriya, which kind of shocks the school, but they don't really care. As long as the kid is, like, learning, he'll be fine. And Izuku basically passes middle school when he's 10. So he doesn't have to do middle school. He only has to do high school and then college if he wants. So Izuku would, Izuku, over these few, years when he's 10, he would be, when he was 5, he was training himself. And then when he turned 10, he actually ended up finding out who is Stain. And Stain actually took an interest in Deku because of his quirks, as well as his personality and how he can evaluate his situations. As he would basically take Deku under his wing and train him. This being Deku's quote-unquote father figure, considering the fact that his father's dead. And Izuku would actually take on the name Plasma Rabbit. Or no, let's just say he takes on the name... I want you to come up with a name for, like, his vigilante name. But he is going to become a hero, so don't worry about it. But he is going to have a vigilante name. No, let's say he's 11. Yeah, 11. So he's 11 right now, and he's training with Stain. And Stain does hard-ass training. Like, he had to do... I'm thinking Stain's training could have been so, like, damn hard, to the point where if, like... Stain's training had to be extreme for him to be able to jump higher than, like, his core doesn't even have to do with it. Doesn't even do with anything like that. He probably had to go through intense training. Probably like 10 times, basically like lower than 10 times training than Asta or anything like that. But basically Deku does Asta's training, muscle enhancement training. He also does like flexibility training, like gymnastics. He does parkour, he does kickboxing, Kaido Ken. He basically learns the swords. And he has like these special swords that he created himself, made of titanium, that are extremely heavy, but Izuku can like lift them. And that's his weight training. which he basically uses these blades, and he coats the sharp ends with plasma, which it basically is like a lightsaber. Yeah, a lightsaber. So he can also he can basically make plasma swords if he wanted to, but yeah. So Izuku would basically go and Izuku would basically just continue on his training until he's 14, which he's basically staying level. He's beyond staying level. He's basically Kung Lao level, like Kung Lao or Liu Kang level from Mortal Kombat, if you know, But what's this? Damn it! Don't look through my gallery, guys. I should have paused the video, but whatever. So also yes, I just also want to. I'll just do this at the end though. Whatever. But so Izuku would basically then go to high. No, he would go to the last year of high school, which he would see Bakugo for the first. No, let's say he does the last year of middle school, but he just passed the 2 years that he had to easily, and then he's gonna do the last year. So he's going to middle school, and he meets Bakugo. And Deku looks weak because he has jackets on and stuff, but his body actually looks like what it does in the bottom left corner. That's what his body looks like because of all the intense training that he's done. I think, and also, he has the same hand scars, he has the body scars and everything like that. It's not a pretty sight. Which one day, just one specific day, it's let's say it's Oh yeah, also he's a professional marksman. I forgot this was a Lady Got video. He's a professional marksman as well as as a professional assassin slash justice bringer. So yeah, he's extremely good with his guns. And his guns can go up to they can shoot for 10 miles with the plasma, and only 5 kilometers, I think, or 10 kilometers. I have no idea, but he can shoot his gun like a sniper. If you look at the most powerful gun, that's what his gun looks like. Yeah, just gonna say that. Oh God. So yeah, so Izuku would basically then go to Well, no, Bakugo would blow off his shirt, his jacket and his shirt, by a powerful explosion. But he coated his body, he coated, his actual skin in plasma protection, because he doesn't want people to see his scars. But in this case, he wasn't really wearing his plasma armor, but then, at the last second, he was. Which, he actually took it off because he didn't really understand. He was about to punch Bakugo, but then everyone saw the scars on his body. Bakugo's like, what happened? Deku says, what? As he looks down and he sees his torso is open, scars, and he's like, oh shit. He's like, you know what, Bakugo? Fuck you. As he just punches him in the face, grabs his shirt or his jacket and takes it, puts it on, and leaves. That's what he does. Not even giving a fuck. And that was the last day of school. And yes, Deku is going to become a hero. He's not going to be a villain. So, yeah. So, Izuku would basically then go on to become a hero at UA. Which, this is when he would meet All Might. He wouldn't take the original way that he goes, because his base is 10 miles away. He wakes up early in the morning. Like, he wakes up at like 5 in the morning and he has like 3 hours to get to school. So he's basically like, he has his bike at home because why not? He has like a motorcycle basically. This thing got him from a hero that is like super fucking cocky, and he gave it to Deku. So his bike basically looks like how Lady got. It's basically purple and pink with black on it and a bit of green and blue in the back. Which his hair is it has black, purple, and pink. Black, purple, and pink. That's his hairline. So basically he has like black streaks running through, or black. Basically, the tips of his hair is black, while purple then like comes after, like before the black, and then pink on top. But it's like messy, like how it is in the original. But it's like, yeah. So I think that's what I'm gonna leave it off, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this video and have a good day. But let me explain why I was gone for so long and why I hadn't posted for like a full-on week. So I was actually camping, but before that, after the first Lady in the God video failed, I kind of just lost inspiration for it, and I was thinking, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to make this better than I was going for? And then it snapped today, so I just did it today. I'm sorry that you're waiting for. Also, the Waifu video is coming out on Friday, I think. I'll have to see if I get my day off tomorrow, but yeah, I'll have to see. But hope you guys enjoy this. But I was also camping 8,000 feet in elevation, so like, yeah, don't judge me. It was incredible. It was just beautiful out there. But yeah. I hope you guys have a good day. Enjoy this. And yeah, that's going to be it. So, also comment down below if you want a second part to this. And if you do, I will definitely do it today or tomorrow. It depends on my mood. But I really hope you guys enjoy this and have an amazing day. Have a wonderful life and goodbye.